Hello and welcome to the Commander's Quarters, your Magic the Gathering source that helps you command your budget. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all their support. Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander's Quarters studio. Welcome to the show. So when a new set comes out, I usually don't do quick takes on lands, and in fact, I'm not sure if I ever have, or if I've even actually ever done a specific episode just on a land, but let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong. Anyways, when I saw this land though, I knew I had to bring it up because this land is spicy. So along with all the other Kaldheim spoiler episodes that I've done so far, a spoiler warning with this episode. If you don't want to see spoilers, I recommend that you stop watching right now. Because I'm going to be talking about a huge spoiler from this set with the World Tree. That's right, Yggdrasil from Norse mythology got a card. Anyways, the World Tree is, well, somehow not legendary, but it is a land, and it enters the battlefield tapped and can tap to add a green. As long as you control 6 or more lands you control have tap add 1 mana of any color. Now that's really cool, but the big part is up next. Pay white white, blue blue, black black, red red, green green, or Wooburg twice. Tap, sacrifice the World Tree, search your library for any number of god cards, put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Yeah, that's what I would call a game-ending land. This land does a lot for you. So much so that you can just build a deck specifically around this land as the win condition. First off, entering the battlefield tapped, yeah, not great, and only tapping for a green to start, not great either. But once you've got 6 or more lands, which of course is not hard to do in Commander when you've got access to green, all your lands are going to be able to tap for any color. This is complete color fixing on a land. Chromatic Lantern, eat your heart out. And to top it off, this is a game-ending tutor that gets all your gods and just puts them right onto the battlefield. So yeah, again, usually I don't get too excited about lands, but this one definitely caught my eye. But outside of that Chromatic Lantern comparison, what kind of similar cards can we compare this to? Now, you might be familiar with exactly one other card from Magic's history that has that exact same double Wooburg activation cost, and that would be Door to Nothingness. Door to Nothingness is an artifact that costs 5, enters the battlefield tapped, and you pay double Wooburg and tap it and sacrifice it to make target player lose the game. So this is also a game-ending effect, but for only one player. Now, while getting all your gods into play might not end the game right away, it won't be too long until you end the game for all other players. On top of that, Door to Nothingness is an artifact, and yeah, that kind of takes up a spot in the deck in comparison to a land. And the other card that this new land reminded me of is Maze's End. It's a land that enters the battlefield tapped and can tap for a colorless. And then you can pay 3 and tap it to return it to its owner's hand, search your library for a gate card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. If you control 10 or more gates with different names, you win the game. So this is yet another game-ending land, but with a completely different win condition. This one depends on you getting all the gates out and then activating this. Whereas the World Tree just depends upon you having a bunch of gods in your deck. Oh yeah, and again on top of that, it helps you completely fix your mana. So of course, many players are going to build a god tribal deck around this, so let's talk about all the different kinds of gods from Magic's history that we can include in this deck. First up, you've got the Theros block gods, like Perforos, God of the Forge, Athreos, God of Passage, and Xenagos, God of Revels. If I'm remembering correctly, there was 1 god for each color, and then 1 for each 2-color combination. These gods are indestructible, and they aren't creatures unless your devotion is equal to a certain number, but when you get all those gods into play at once, you're gonna get your devotion up. Next up, we've got the Amonkhet block gods, like Ronus the Indomitable, the Locust God, and the Scarab God. Again, if I remember correctly, we've got 1 of each color, and then 3 of 2-color combinations that are Grixis-based. The 1-color gods like Ronus are indestructible, but they can't attack or block unless you've got a certain requirement met. And then the Locust God, the Scarab God, and the Scorpion God each basically have when they die, they come back to your hand at the beginning of the next end step. Regardless, there are some very powerful things that these gods can do as well. And then we've got the War of the Spark gods, like the Pig God Ilharg the Raised Boar. Okay, fine, it's a boar, but pig in my heart. And then the Eternalized gods like God Eternal Oketra and God Eternal Kefnet. In this set, there was 1 god of each color, and when they die or is put into exile from the battlefield, you can put it on top of its owner's library, 3rd from the top. Again, these gods are no slouches either. Next up, we returned to Theros with Theros Beyond Death, and we had gods like Thassa Deep Dwelling, Clothis, God of Destiny, and Heliod Sun Crowned. If my memory serves correctly, in this set we had 7 gods, I believe? 1 of each color, and then 2 separate ones that were multicolor? Like the other Theros gods, these are indestructible, and again they have that devotion requirement. But against some very powerful gods with some very powerful effects. And then we are finally up to the current set with Kaldheim, and we've got already, I believe, 5 gods spoiled so far? So again, I'm not sure if there's going to be more gods than that spoiled or not, but we've got ones like Valki, Allrun, and Kolvari. Each are MDFC gods that each have a different type of side. One backside is a planeswalker, another's a creature, another's an artifact, another's an equipment, and another's an enchantment. But anyways, these are some really exciting gods, and I'm not sure if we're going to see more of them or not from Kaldheim, but make sure you check out the quick takes on the ones that are already out there. And actually, I may or may not have forgotten one god from Modern Horizons with Morophon the Boundless. Everyone's favorite god, Morophon. Okay, fine. It's a changeling, alright? It's got changeling, so it's every single creature type, which does include god, but still very good in a god tribal deck. Now, if you want to build around the world tree, when it comes to potential commanders, there are a couple of options that you can use. Most likely the best one, and Mac, I want to thank you for pointing this one out to me, is Golos Tireless Pilgrim. Golos is a 3/5 scout for 5, and when it enters the battlefield, you can search your library for a land card, put that card into the battlefield, tap, then shuffle your library. So yeah, you can just tutor up the world tree into play with your commander. Oh, and you can also just, pay 2 in Wooburg and cast 3 things off the top for free. But yeah, being able to specifically tutor up the world tree is absolutely huge, so Golos is probably your best bet. Roy from our playgroup also recommended Ramos, which could be another good option because you can remove those 5 counters from Ramos and make double Wooburg for that cost. So that's definitely another option, though you do need a way to tutor up that land at some point. And if you're going God Tribal, another option might be Esca, God of the Tree. This is actually a very recently spoiled God commander, and yeah, it's a very spicy one, so make sure you check out the quick take on this one too. But now it's time for me to give you my gut feeling on the World Tree. And it's a pretty simple and straightforward feeling. This land is awesome. Completely fixing your mana on top of just being a massive tutor for every single god in your deck is really cool. The only question I have about this card is, why is the World Tree not legendary? I mean, there's no way that there's multiple World Trees in the universe, in the multiverse, right? There's no way. And with that, the show is coming to a close, so it's my turn to hear from you. So in the comments below, let me know what your thoughts on this episode are, and as always, thanks again and have a good one.